Hey guys, this is Jeremy from 78 Productions. I want to talk to you guys about improving your church technology ministry with little steps to have big results. So if you guys have been on the internet at all, you probably know about this company called HubSpot. And a lot of times they talk about technology, but pretty much regularly they talk about other things that just have to do with life, optimization, organization, stuff like that. And they just recently did an article where they talked about this company that works with cyclists who are in a lot of the different cycling, whether it's the Olympics or Tour de France and stuff like that, where they wanted to make huge improvements on their team, but they didn't want to necessarily approach it from just an ordinary way of doing things because everybody was doing it the ordinary way. They wanted to make huge changes, but with lots and lots of little steps, and they called it improving by 1%. And so I'll have a link down below to the HubSpot article, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on this topic of what it is that you would like to do as far as church technology and being able to increase it by 1%. I have a few ideas I want to share with you guys, but you have this church ministry, and I don't care if you are a church that has 150 people in your congregation, 10,000 people in your congregation, whether you have live streaming and social media and blogging and all these online productions, or if you are just simply trying to record or even not record, but just be able to have your lyrics for your worship songs on the screen. How can you improve your ministry where you're at by 1%? And the idea behind it is we're not making changes by 1% for the ministry as a whole, but the little things. And so in this, he talks about even something as insignificant for the bikers as what is the best pillow that you could get for your cyclists. And the results were dramatic. He was hoping to get some kind of result in 5 years. He got it in 2. And then he was able to repeat it as he kept going. And so what would this mean for your church as far as increasing by 1% in a lot of little areas so that you could actually make huge steps? And this is so ideal for your church, your ministry, because church technology is not cheap. If you think about an iPhone, if you think about a camera, think about streaming services every month, the idea of a projector and the bulbs that go with that, it adds up so quickly. And so how can we improve all these things by 1% as we're going along? And I'm just thinking as far as my own ministry context, I'm currently here at Youth for Christ and trying to do social media. And so what does that mean for social media as I'm trying to be able to push forward with this? So for me, it's not necessarily having tons and tons of great posts, but just trying to do it little by little. And so for me, that 1% has gone from having something great to post every single day for social media to taking 3 hours 2 times a week and trying to be able to plan out the next 3 days for my ministry and being able to have great posts that I don't necessarily come up with myself, but that I'm able to take from different bits and pieces throughout the website, throughout social media, throughout the training articles that we have for our missionaries, the promotional videos that we do. And so I'm not necessarily making this huge grand explosion in social media with creating unique content that is totally impacting everything that we do, but I'm borrowing a lot within the organization, and it's really been effective for me personally to make these little changes that for you guys, all you see is the outcome, the social media part of what I have to do. And then also talking to the different people that are engaged in all these things. I'm taking content from blogs that I have no access to as far as creating content, but then I shoot them an email and say, hey, if possible, I'd love to just see some of the content before it goes out and offer critiques if you want, or I can help you find some images for a lot of these different posts. Or maybe it's the fact that I'm taking all these training guides that are starting to get recycled, and so I ask for more or ask for updated stuff. And even to the point of I actually went to a huge conference that we had called Midwinter where everybody in the U.S. came together, and including a lot of people from other nations. We all came together, and I had my group of people I was working with focusing specifically on social media, and all I said was, let's talk about what Youth for Christ has to say about all these different topics. And I had them write down. We just took an hour and spent and talked about these different topics. All of a sudden they maybe spent some time within the hour trying to come up with 30 tweets, but all 20 of those people creating 30 tweets now gives me 600 tweets to be able to have ammunition to post for the rest of the year. So for me, that was the 1% in those little areas where it has a huge impact on everything I have to do. So I'd love to hear what your guys' context is on this. How are you serving in church tech? What little things could you change with that 1% to be able to take it to the next level? And what grand outcomes would you like to have with all this? Leave your guys' comments below, and we'll talk to you guys next week.